way I could. There's no way I could preach. I could breathe. At one point, I was like doubled over in the bush outside the church. They didn't see me. I know a very small church. One person gets to look at my face, and everybody's no. And I wasn't ready for that. So I go to the building, find Kim, and I tell Kim what has happened. There was another member who was right there, and I just looked at him and said, I have to figure this out. And I turned around and left. Now, there is not a mind whatsoever that 100% willing to step in for me. But prayer, consideration, preparation, had he a Bible class to me at that point? Zero. I mean, he prepared to participate, not at all prepared to teach. In that congregation, prayerfully and carefully studied and prepared to preach that day. Nobody, because that was my responsibility. But in that, I can be accountable to that. So, just because it works, let me ask you, it probably would have gone either way. We can all agree our worship service at Church in Sweetwater, Texas on that particular Sunday, it was not any fault, saying any wrong occurred, but it what it should have been, because the person who was responsible could not be accountable to that. So my point is really getting here, and I'm sorry. My point is this: just because it can't work doesn't mean it should work. So there ought to be care for everything, from singing to leading a prayer, to talk for the supper. I mean, it's so important. We put on the reminders, if you cannot, please somebody. So that you have more than 30 seconds. Get ready. When we come here, we ought to be giving our best. We talk about that with the Spirit, which means that whoever is leading or whoever is serving, whether they're preparing community, they ought to have the chance to do that with careful and prayerful. Part of us were given the responsibility. They were held accountable for that responsibility. And the member of the Lord's church is given responsibility based on what they can do, and as a result, they will be held accountable for these responsibilities. So you can do something, you should do something. I heard a Christian one time, responsibility equals ability plus opportunity, and we have a lot of that. So if we are able, if we have the opportunity to do something, but we violate for which we have been held responsible, they're accountable. 1 Corinthians, Ephesians 4, the same. About this almost in sort of hippie-ish way. It's like everyone has a purpose. Everything is beautiful in our own, and you know that's it's like okay that you look bad. We can find something behind something. I mean, you know, and one of these passages, and we use validation. It's like, you know, even you can be useful, you know, something the trash. And I think there is a lot of empowerment that comes from passages that talk about the whole body. You know, every body has, you know, ears and eyes and hands and feet. The eyes have their job, and the hands do their job. The foot can't see, and the can't smell or whatever. Because each has responsibility based on what they are designed to do. Let me ask you something. Realistically, you get in your eyes and you can't see, are you excited? You try to do a victory dance your senior because you got a solo and ensemble and you rank just off the top of your head, completely random example there. Are you going to be impacted by that? You see a girl you don't like at a high school basketball game and you turn to look, and as a result you stumble down the and sprain your ankle. Are you impacted by that? Yes, absolutely, without question. Years later, yeah, she's still going to the doctor for that. See, be nice, people. Here's the point. We will fully accept you spray something in my eyes and I see it's going to alter how I function throughout that day. But then as members of the Lord's church, we think if I don't show up today, somebody else will figure it out. Explain to me how that works. Go. Hands.
What's going on in other people's lives so that we need exist. If we don't know the people in this country,
That is very true, but I want to make sure that we don't look at linear. I agree with you 100%. Oftentimes, we get the ideas first, get everyone, and then let's stand in the gap. And I believe those things should be running concurrently. Is that the right word? Concurrently? In tandem, at the same time, whatever. I try to, it never works. So yes, you are absolutely right. We ought to be in and filling functional gaps while we are increasing our knowledge and our relationships. Make sure to look at that as, well, I have to do it now because I'm still in everyone, which I don't think is the point you were making at all. I just make sure that we are aware of that. Here's the thing. Even if there is a perfectly reason, even if you find out 29 on Monday morning that you've lost someone who is very dear to you, and even though that's perfectly understandable, the functionality of the Lord's church needs to be maintained. And maybe it won't be pretty, but we should certainly we are stepping in a functional role. Even with basic, and this is something I really struggle with. And it's not about that's not really the point. It's the thing that doesn't matter whether I'm there or not. You guys are singing and there's like 17 people. You guys are going to sing and there's like 87 people. It is a difference. And the point is that you matter. Your presence matters. Your contribution matters. We serve God. We treat our personality in the church as something that is peripheral, then the functionality of the Lord's church is going to reflect that. So I want you to think about what are you responsible for? What are you accountable for? Take a look at Revelation 20, 12, and 13. James 2:24. Look at that on your own. I'm way out of time. I appreciate your comment. Great question today. Thank you very much.